Kia ora koutou. Now is the time to make your way inside if you haven't done so already. Make your way inside, find your seat. The Deloitte Top 200 Awards ceremony begins in just a few minutes. So please finish up your conversation, make your way inside, find your seat. The Deloitte Top 200 Awards will begin shortly.
Feeling of indulging your time.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome to the Deloitte Top 200 Awards. The ceremonies will begin very soon as you take a seat and make your order of kai. I'm sure you can smell the delicious food wafting in. So if you would like to make your order, you must please sit down and make your order. E noho, e hoa ma, please. Can you take your seats so we can take your food orders and then soon be started for the Deloitte Top 200.
manawa nui, manawa roa, manawa tū, manawa ora. Ka manawa mai, ka tatau mai. E tū e, tū tuparere, tū tupakokota. Ka kō kota ki whea, ka kō kota ki raru i aku taha. Tū te winiwini, tū te wanawana, ka ngaru a tū ki te rangi, ki te whakarongona mai ki taku hautaua, he taua, he taua. He riri, he toa, he toa. He toa tēnei, he toa iti, e ngaro ana ki roto i te mati kuku. Tēnei ahau e te tipua, ka tahi ka tikina atu ki tērā i a whakatau. Whakatau ngā kina te mate o tū whakararo. Whakatau aki tō taua matakai kutu. Whakatau wera i te ahi, i te uru o manono. E ai ki te kōrero, ko tahi i te whetū e tūana ki Hawaiki. Ko whakatau anake, ko whakatau pōtiki e tihe wā mauri ora. Kei te premia, kei te kāwanatanga. Nau mai hoki mai ki runga i te reo karanga o Ngāti Whātua o rākei i tēnei pō. Me tērā tūmanako hanga ao mātou tūpuna rātau i Waitohu nge i te tiriti o Waitangi. Tēnei te reo o ngā tūpuna e mihi atu nei ki a koe, ki tō tira o apiha ko tai mai anō ki Waitemata kupe ngā rau, nau mai hoki mai tēnā koe, tēnā koutou. E te koro matua o tāmaki, me he mea kei konei koe, tēnei ka mihi. E ngā mana e ngā reo e ngā iwi, ara koutou ngā mātanga o te ao Pākihi, koutou koe eke ki ngā taumata tike i roto i ngā mahi i Aotearoa nei puta no te ao, ko tēnei te pō, hei whakamānawa atu i a koutou me o koutou mahi. Koutou e para nei i te huarahi kia ora ai tātou. Ahakoa ngā tangata whairawa, ahakoa ngā tangata rawa kore. Ko te whainga, kia eke panuku, kia eke tangaroa koutou, kia oro ai ngā hāpuri katoa ki roto o Aotearoa nei. He mahi nui tērā, kei tēnā iwi, e hāpai nei i ngā kaupapa o te iwi, me ngā wawata kei roto i a rātou. Hoi anō rā, tērā kōrero anō, kia hoi ngā tahi ai tātou i tēnei waka i te ao Pākihi, hei painga mō Aotearoa katoa. Māori mai, Pākehā mai, taino atu ki ngā tāngata katoa, e tau nei ki runga i tō tātou nei whenua. Nā reira, tērā paku kōrero no te karaipe ture, nā te atua i waihotia mai, kare kau aku kaura, kare kau aku hiriwa. Hoi anō, ko ki rawa tōku ngā kau i te aroha tētahi ki tētahi. Nā reira, i tēnei pō i a tātou e whakanui ana i ngā mahi kua tutuki, me ata whakaaro tātou mō ngā mahi kāre anō kia tutuki. Ngā mahi kia whakarauora mai, a tātou tikanga, me tō tātou nei reo, hakoa te kōrero o etahi, he maumau noho tō tātou nei reo, hoi anō, tēnei a Ngāti Whātua e whakahēnā e era kōrero, nā runga i te aroha, ka puta nei tēnei reo ki a koutou katoa, mai i te wā, i Waitohu ngia, tō mātou tupuna a te kāwau i te tiriti o Waitangi, tai nō nei ki tēnei pō. Nā reira, kia hari, kia koa, tō tātou nei pō whakangāhau, koutou, Ka eke, ko eke panuku eke tangarua, tēnei ka mihi. Koutou e kore whiwhi he tohu i tēnei pō, he rā anō apopo. Nō reira, kia pai, tā tātou nei hui, e roto i te aroha me te rangi Māori e, te premier, tēnā koe, kai aku rangatira mākoha nui, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā tātou katoa.
Pāpaki mai,
Pāpaki mai,
ngāngaru nunui,
ngāngaru nunui,
wāwaratia,
wāwaratia,
ngā tairere,
ngā tairere,
ripo
e ngāngaru nunui te rehu tai, hei ko nei rā. I'm not sure if there's a prize, Prime Minister, for the best karaoke, but we're happy to kick it off. Nā reira, kia kore e pahu mo te wāroa. Ka mihi nei, ki te tokorua nei, ngā kai hāpai i tō tātou nei reo Māori, me ngā tikanga o ngā iwi, ka hariru mātau i tēnei wā. So you're more than welcome to share in the hariru with somebody next to you that's had a share and brushed their teeth. Before they got here. Tēnā rā tātou katoa.
No, why are they? Oh, there you go. So Stacey's just, I think she's gone out there because she feels like she should.
If you don't know, hariru means how do you do? So could you please at least say to someone close to you, how do you do?
How do you?
How do you do?
How do you do?
Hariru. Hariru, tēnā kōrua, ngā rangatira o Ngāti Whātua o Rāka I whakatau ia tātou I tēnei rā. Do you feel welcome, everybody? So you should, because we have been beautifully welcomed by Ngāti Whātua o Rāka. We've been brought into this space, Jack. We've been reminded of all the work that you've done this year. Could you please raise a toast to all the work you've done this year? And all the work that is yet to do, because this is your night of nights, a very fitting way to begin a very special night for you all. We celebrate the incredible achievements of New Zealand business and all of you, the amazing people who work in it.
So tonight we gather for the 35th year of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards to celebrate and honour the outstanding achievement by business executives and companies doing business in Aotearoa.
That's right. So tonight, all of you here this evening represent the best of the best, the brightest that Aotearoa has to offer. I know there's some people out there having Christmas parties, but it's even brighter in here. This is your party night.
That is the longest how do you do I've ever encountered. The thing about tonight is this is a room full of talent. And for our finalists, our recipients and our winners, you really are the creme de la creme of an already impressive group. So congratulations to you all, and if you are a finalist tonight, we wish you the very best of luck.
We certainly do. Now, the theme this year is leading the next wave, embracing new opportunities in challenging times.
As the world changes, New Zealand business has rightly spent resources focusing on resilience, adaptability and sustainability.
Which has prepared us for this time. Now, this time, everybody, is the time to deliver.
Yeah. Kia kaha koutou. It is time to lead the next wave, to seek out opportunities, to seek out new markets despite strong headwinds, to drive success, productivity and value.
Despite this tricky economic moment, we're embracing the optimism, everybody, shining through, and it can spark innovation, fresh ideas and new ways to maximise technology and generative AI as well. So we're on to a brighter future on the horizon. Ki te pairangi.
I know over the last few years there's been a lot of talk about change in the business community, but by embracing change, by leading the next wave, momentum can begin to build. And it can be built by New Zealand business leaders. Momentum that will collectively improve performance, efficiency, competitiveness, and rapidly diversifying markets both at home and on the world stage.
So, everybody, our huama, the time is now.
Well, not quite now. Very quickly, this is what you need to know in terms of all your housekeeping this evening.
Yes, so if you are most importantly sharing on social tonight, anybody on the social media? I know you are, I see you on the TikTok. So you please use the event hashtag Deloitte Top 200. We got that?
Bathrooms are along the corridor. They have a bathroom sign. I'm cautiously optimistic that you will work it out.
Yes, and in the very unlikely event of an emergency, please follow the instructions of the venue and event staff. They've got it sorted.
The way that the event is going to work this evening is we're going to present some awards, then we're going to have a wee break. You'll have a chance to charge your glass. You'll have more of a chance to have a catch up with your friends and colleagues, and then we're going to have some more awards. But here is the thing you need to know if you are nominated for an award this evening. If you are nominated for an award, we want to maintain a laser-like focus on productivity. So we have a very strict 45-second limit. If you happen to win your award, you come up on stage, you shake the hand, you do the photo, 45 seconds. There's going to be a little clock down here counting you down. So my advice is even if you think you're not going to win, even if you think you don't have a chance on earth of winning, think about it now. Think about your speech now. Think about who you would thank so that when you do get up on stage, you'll be snappy.
Because in my experience, that first 30 seconds goes just while you're trying to breathe.
Yeah.
So, everybody, are we ready?
Hey.
Because tonight, now is the time to get New Zealand businesses' big night of nights underway. So please bring your attention to the stage now. He's been a member of the Deloitte team for over 30 years, working locally as well as in London, Australia, and across the Asia-Pacific region.
He has served on the board of Deloitte New Zealand. He was the Deloitte private lead for Asia Pacific and on the firm's Asia Pacific executive leadership team.
And in 2021, he took over as chief executive for Deloitte New Zealand. E te wī, please, can we turn our attention and welcome Mike Horne.
Inga iwi, inga mana, inga rau rangatira mā. Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Mike Horne, tōko ingoa, ko ahau, te kaiwhakahaere o Deloitte. No reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. So look, on behalf of Deloitte, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all along to the 2024 Top 200 Awards and Gala evening. It's wonderful to have so many of you here to celebrate with us this evening, and we're particularly honoured to have the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Christopher Luxon, who has also been able to join us. And Christopher is no stranger to these awards. He himself was a previous recipient, being the CEO of the Year award winner in 2015 when he was in his tenure with Air New Zealand. So big congratulations on that, Christopher. And now in its 35th year, as we heard from Jack and Stacey, the Deloitte Top 200 Awards remains the preeminent platform for showcasing the very best of New Zealand business. It features companies across the industries and sectors that underpin New Zealand's success. And these awards demonstrate and recognise the depth and breadth of the New Zealand business community. I was in India a couple of weeks ago, and for once they didn't want to talk about cricket. But what I was absolutely taken with was their sense of swagger and ambition. And for me, I think that's something that we need to regain here as a nation in New Zealand. And I think part of that is being proud of and actively showcasing our achievements across the range of endeavours that really underpin a healthy and prosperous society. Now, I'm a huge sports fan and really proud of us as a nation and how we celebrate sporting achievements on the global stage. But what we don't do so much is celebrate our business success. And yet in many respects, it's the business community that powers a huge amount of social prosperity in this country. And so it's really important that we encourage and celebrate that success. The Deloitte Top 200 Awards gives us an opportunity to celebrate our biggest companies, celebrate their leaders for their resilience, their agility and their foresight to take New Zealand forward. Something I'm also really passionate about for us as a country is that I believe that us as business leaders really need to take a key role about that balance between risk and ambition. Absolutely, managing risk is crucial, but embracing ambition and opportunity is what powers growth. We've seen the changing global geopolitical landscape highlighted by recent events such as the US presidential election. And it presents new challenges, but also opportunities for New Zealand. As a small trading nation, we must be nimble and adaptive. We've got opportunities to excel, leveraging our size and our brand positioning, but we've got to be agile to navigate these global challenges. Even more importantly, it won't happen unless we proactively engage in the global community and really sell our value proposition. So for me, I'm excited to see how you, our top 200 community, will lead the next wave of ambition, innovation and value creation. A special thanks goes to our exclusive media sponsor, the New Zealand Herald, who have been supporting us for over a decade. Your long support of the program is absolutely invaluable. I'd also like to acknowledge the Top 200's loyal award category sponsors. Amazon Web Services, Barfoot and Thompson, Business New Zealand, Forsyth Barr, Hobson Levy, ServiceNow, Tax Traders, 2 Degrees, the University of Auckland Business School, and the newest member of our sponsor family, Snowflake. Your commitment to these awards and in turn to the business community is hugely appreciated. Also a heartfelt and sincere thanks to Fran O'Sullivan, who's been the convener of the Top 200 judging panel for many years, and her and the entire independent judging panel do a phenomenal job. And also we have the dedicated special category judging advisors and their meticulous work in setting and selecting tonight's winners and finalists. It's a tough task, but one that they do with absolute aplomb. We increasingly rely on our leading organisations to restore our ambition and elevate New Zealand's global presence. So congratulations to all the finalists here tonight. Your commitment to bold, strategic choices and to the New Zealand economy more broadly paves the way for an exciting future. Make sure on your way out, all of you pick up your copy of Dynamic Business when you leave tonight, and that has a full rundown of all the winners and their stories of success. It also has a full analysis of the top 200 indices upon which these awards are based. So a big thank you to all of you for being here tonight. Please enjoy the evening. Big congratulations to all of the finalists on their achievements. Thanks.
Kia ora, Mike.
Very nice.
Kia ora, Mike. It is a very hot stage up here, but you held the hot seat. Please, one more time, put your hands together in respect for Mike Horne. Okay, have we all had a little bit to eat? Are we all ready? Ki te hoi, paddles in, because it is time to start presenting some awards, Jack.
Now, for these awards, they represent an incredible achievement for many people in the New Zealand business community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really, really annoying, and I'm going to say, shh. If we can just show some respect for the people who are going to be acknowledged here this evening. We all know how much work has gone into tonight, and trust me, being one of the final few people working in the New Zealand media, I have seen some sloppy awards over the last few years. You guys can do better than that. So if you can, please turn your attention to the stage over the next few minutes as we acknowledge the outstanding achievements and success of your colleagues.
Ka pai?
Now, our first award recognises an outstanding change in business performance. The judges look at the relative improvement in all performance indicators over the previous year, the source of the improvement, other ways that the organisation has changed in the past year, and the significance of the impact that these changes make.
So e te iwi, to present the award for Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance, please welcome and give your attention to Business New Zealand CEO, Catherine Rich.
As the voice of business in Aotearoa, Business New Zealand is once again delighted to present the Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award. Let's take a look at our exceptional finalists.
The A2 Milk Company, founded in New Zealand in 2000, is a dairy nutritionals company driven by its purpose to pioneer the future of dairy for good. It has developed a portfolio of liquid milk, infant milk formula and other nutritional products made from milk of cows that naturally produce A1 protein-free milk. Recently, it achieved a top 5 position in the China infant milk formula market, is the #1 milk brand in Australia, and is one of the fastest growing brands in the US premium milk category, with group sales of $1.7 billion, EBITDA of $234 million, and a market capitalisation of $4 billion. A2 Milk navigated post-COVID challenges by refreshing its growth strategy, focusing on China and emerging markets, doubling brand investment, reshaping distribution, ramping up product innovation, investing in sustainability and transforming its supply chain. This resulted in a 30% rise in share price and renewed shareholder confidence. Compass Group New Zealand is the country's market leader in food services, with a suite of brands providing services including healthcare, education, corporate and leisure and defence. Wholly owned by Compass Group plc, the world's largest food and hospitality support services, the company employs over 4,000 people across more than 300 sites from Whangarei to Invercargill. While the food sector grew 7% during the most recent financial year, Compass Group New Zealand was a standout performer, increasing its annual revenue by 24%. Judges comment, highlighting the most improved performance nature of this result is how its latest performance compares to its 3-year growth of 13% and 10-year revenue growth rate of 6%. Its impressive performance and sector leadership has seen the company become an important contributor to the government's Ka Ora Ka Ako Healthy Lunches in Schools program, with over 1 million meals served to students since they commenced in January 2021. Sustainability is a core part of their strategy, and Compass Group have committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2050 and introduced a sustainable financing framework to support environmentally and socially responsible projects. The Genuine Parts Company is a $23 billion global enterprise and operates in New Zealand as the well-known Repco brand and its trade businesses Napa and Motion. It is the largest provider of automotive parts and accessories in the country, with 160 stores nationwide, serving industrial, trade professionals and automotive enthusiasts. In a sector experiencing significant structural changes, GPC's New Zealand operations have demonstrated remarkable stability and growth. Judges comment, the business achieved annual revenues exceeding $500 million with a notable 15.2% increase, surpassing an already impressive 5-year growth rate of 12%. This revenue growth has been effectively translated into a 25% increase in operating earnings over the past 3 years. Beyond its strong financial performance, GPC New Zealand is committed to sustainability, with its distribution centre featuring eco-friendly initiatives such as solar panels, LED lighting, electric forklifts and water-saving fixtures. Through Repco, the business continues to play a pivotal role in New Zealand's automotive industry with a brand that stands for authenticity.
And the winner of the Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award is the A2 Milk Company.
The Most Improved Performance Award is particularly relevant this year as companies continue to navigate disruptions from the pandemic, inflation pressures and recessionary impacts that have followed. In this difficult environment, the judges commend A2 Milk for its resilience. The company has successfully formed new strategic partnerships, adapted to challenging regulatory conditions in key markets, including China and the US, and strengthened its leadership team. With sustained growth in 2024, A2's share price has seen a significant uplift, signalling a return to confidence among shareholders and marking a strong recovery from past challenges. Congratulations to A2 Milk, the 2024 Deloitte Top 200 Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award recipient.
Thank you. Tēnā koutou katoa. Good evening, everybody. I'll just start by saying thank you to Catherine and Business New Zealand for sponsoring this important award, and I'd also like to congratulate Compass and GPC for being such worthy finalists as well. For for us, this is a very satisfying and greatly appreciated award. I think it's well known in this room that the A2 Milk Company was significantly disrupted during COVID, and our whole team's been working so hard to improve the performance of the company ever since. And all of that wouldn't happen without the support of our board and our chair, Pip Greenwood, who's here this evening, and the entire A2 team. We're actually a very small team of passionate people about the A2 proposition. There's only 500 of us globally, but the wider business system of A2 employs close to 10,000 people, from our farmers and suppliers, processors, distributors and strategic partners, particularly China State Farm in China, and also our manufacturing partner, Synlait, here in New Zealand. So thank you very much. I think way before my time, A2 won Company of the Year at this event back in 2016 or 17. So we'll set ourselves an ambition to come back here one time soon for that event and hopefully be a finalist one day. So thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Congratulations. Congratulations to our first award winners. Wonderful to see your success and your improvement noted there. Now, the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy Award recognises an outstanding growth performance. Our judges look at the past year's revenue and profit growth among a range of factors.
And in these changing times, creating a meaningful and effective growth strategy has never been more essential to the good health of business in New Zealand and the well-being of the economy.
The finalists for this award have demonstrated that even in the face of challenges and those headwinds, positive outcomes can be achieved.
To present the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy Award, haere mai te rangatira, please welcome the Chief Business Officer of 2 Degrees, Andrew Fairgrave.
Good evening, everyone, and on behalf of 2 Degrees, I'm delighted to be sponsoring the 2 Degrees Best Strategy Award, which celebrates companies for exceptional growth and innovation. We all know how important that is for New Zealand's productivity, so let's get to business and let's look at the winners.
Established in 1994, Infratil is an investor and operator of infrastructure assets with a diverse portfolio spanning digital infrastructure, renewable energy and healthcare assets across New Zealand, Australia, North America, Europe and Asia. Driven by a mission to invest in ideas that matter, Infratil is strategically positioning itself for sustainable growth by prioritising high-impact industries that address critical societal needs. A significant milestone in Infratil's growth strategy was the acquisition of a 99.9% stake in One New Zealand, marking a $1.8 billion investment. This move aligned with the company's commitment to delivering critical infrastructure for a digital future. Infratil has also invested heavily in renewable energy to support the country in its move towards a low-carbon economy. The company's strategic financial management, evidenced by a robust balance sheet and a $1.15 billion capital raise in 2023, ensures sustained investment capabilities across its sectors, positioning Infratil as a resilient leader in both economic and sustainable growth. NZX-listed Vector is a leading energy and digital solutions group serving more than 600,000 customers across a portfolio of regulated and competitive businesses, including electricity, gas, technology solutions and fibre optic services. Vector's recent strategic achievements include the partial divestment of 50% of its Blue Current business for $1.5 billion to Queensland Investment Corporation, a partnership well positioned for further growth across Australia and New Zealand. Vector also holds a world-leading strategic alliance with Amazon Web Services to develop advanced data platforms, a separate partnership with Google X for energy platforms, and has announced a conditional divestment of its on-gas business for $150 million, while investing hundreds of millions of dollars each year supporting Auckland's growth and electrification. Vector's Symphony strategy puts customers at the centre of the energy system at a time when demand is growing, decarbonisation is accelerating, and affordable, clean, safe, reliable electricity is becoming more critical. Significant international partnerships drive sector-leading performance, while divestment and conditional sales position the company for new opportunities. Since 2014, NZME has been at the forefront of New Zealand's media landscape, boasting a portfolio of some of the country's most iconic and recognised brands, including the New Zealand Herald. Today, NZME is seamlessly blending its rich legacy with a forward-looking digital future. NZME's growth strategy places focus on digital expansion across its three core divisions: audio, publishing and OneRoof. Digital revenue now constitutes a significant portion of the company's total income. This strategic shift from traditional to digital media has driven a surge in digital subscriptions, fostered a robust podcast network and positioned OneRoof as a leading force in the real estate industry, becoming an essential tool for real estate transactions. With an unwavering commitment to high-quality journalism, scalable platforms and innovative digital content delivery, NZME's strategy highlights its dedication to sustainable growth and agility in a competitive media environment. In a challenging media sector and tough economic conditions, NZME is a standout for its continuing profit and growth.
And the winner of the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy at the Deloitte Top 200 2024 goes to Infratel.
Infratel has again exemplified outstanding growth in 2024, balancing its strong focus on the New Zealand market with strategic global expansion. Domestically during the year, Infratel reinforced its commitment to digital infrastructure by moving to full ownership of One New Zealand. Globally, their strategy to invest in renewable energy and data centres has been transformative, with a sharp rise in the company's valuation driven by the surging demand for AI-driven data infrastructure. Infratel's strategy reflects bold decision-making and exceptional execution, which has been a hallmark of the company's success over its now 30 years as a listed New Zealand company. Shareholder returns have been exceptional, with a compound annual rate of 23% per annum over the past 10 years. These accomplishments reinforce Infratel's strategy and infrastructure investment, with a focus on driving innovation and sustainable growth around what the company describes as the ideas that matter. Congratulations to Infratel in its 30th year, the Deloitte Top 200 winner of the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy Award for 2024.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow, kia ora tātou. A few thank yous and a couple of things. Well, thank you 2 Degrees, first of all, and congratulations to all the other finalists. Actually, Vector is a source of some of that growth. They collect a lot of our data centres, and NZME is a good partner as well. So congratulations to you. As the voiceover said, we've been going for 30 years this year. And when Marco was asked about his time, he was the CEO before me, and about our growth strategy, his verdict was, thank God it worked. So thank God it worked indeed. Lloyd, who was our first CEO, his aim was to say that our lives are better off when everyone is better off. And I think that's a lovely sentiment for us all to think about. It's not all about growth, but trying to make everybody better off. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to all my team. Thank you to the 6,500 people who work for us. Have a good night.
Congratulations, and thank you for that beautiful sentiment as well. And Andrew, I picked up what you did. You went, yes, let's run it straight. Go straight on into the next award. So, the Barfoot and Thompson Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award seeks to honour organisations that have implemented a really meaningful strategic program to achieve a measurable performance improvement in diversity and inclusion metrics.
So the judges took a detailed look at real-world progress achieved to date and the ability of the program to continue to enhance business performance and employee engagement over the long term.
So to present the award, ka nui te mihi ki tēnei rangatira. I always have to mention he was my rugby club captain at College Rifles and also the managing director of Barfoot and Thompson, Peter Thompson.
Thanks, Stacey. Always remember you're missing that tackle. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As New Zealand's largest privately owned real estate company, We like to think of ourselves as one of a big family. So it's a pleasure to be with you all once again tonight to present the Barton Thompson Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award. Our warmest congratulations to all tonight's finalists. They are
The founders of the ANZ Bank in New Zealand were so enthused about the future of the new nation and the opportunity of mutual prosperity that they set up a bank only a few months after the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi. Fast forward to today, and the bank's Te Ao Māori strategy, Takiriarangi, aims to uplift Māori economic development by helping start and grow Māori businesses. The first step has seen ANZ uplift its own cultural capability and integrate a Māori worldview into its operations. Through Takiriarangi, ANZ is cultivating inclusion across its staff and customer base. As contemporary New Zealand's ethnic diversity increases, the bank is rapidly adapting its recruitment, retention and promotion strategies with a strong focus on Māori to ensure its staff and decision makers look like and reflect the communities in which the organisation operates. With over 175 years as New Zealand's vital logistics hub, Port of Auckland has embedded a strategy to build a high-performance, high-engagement culture with diversity and inclusion as the underpinning cornerstone of its organisational culture and transformational change. With a workforce that represents a cross-section of Aotearoa, including significant Pacifica representation, the Port's people-centric approach has built and cultivated a culturally authentic environment, fostering a sense of belonging and engagement. By reorienting its organisational culture around diversity, equity and inclusion, and emphasising whanaungatanga, a sense of family, Port of Auckland has forged deep bonds and partnerships between management, staff, unions, iwi stakeholders and council, improving operational performance and strengthening community ties. Powerco, New Zealand's largest dual electricity and gas distributor by network length, powers homes, businesses and communities across the North Island. With a 500-plus strong team, Powerco is dedicated to building a workforce that represents the diverse mix of customers and communities that it serves. As the energy needs of Aotearoa accelerates, Powerco needs a wide talent pool of people to grow to zero. Now this means growing New Zealand's economy while delivering on its net zero 2050 goals. Since 2020, Powerco's commitment to diversity, equity and inclusion has resulted in women holding 50% of senior leadership roles, a more than doubling of Māori representation across its workforce, improvement in employee engagement and narrowed gender pay gaps within the organisation. And through considered initiatives such as its Te Ao Māori strategy and partnerships with Champions for Change, Powerco is contributing to advancing female and Māori participation in the energy sector.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the Barton Thompson Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award, Port of Auckland.
This year's finalists have shown exceptional leadership in diversity, equity and inclusion, positively impacting their organisations and setting new benchmarks across their industries. Recognised for a bold cultural transformation based on DE&I, with a strategy to regain their mana by centering whanaungatanga and a people-first high-performance approach, Port of Auckland stood out to the judges as the winner. Their work has enabled them to reset relationships and foster a strong partnership across diverse employee groups, management, the union, the council and iwi stakeholders to create meaningful, sustainable change. The results are clear: recovered union relations, significant improvements in health and safety, higher employee engagement and retention, and a strong financial uplift. Congratulations to Port of Auckland, the 2024 Deloitte Top 200 Barton Thompson Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award recipient.
Yep. Good evening. I'm Philip Doak, GM of People at the Port, and on stage with me I have our GM of Container Operations, Tessa Aula, and the General Secretary of our largest union, MUNS Local 13, Grant Williams. Wow, this is such an honour. Thank you very much to the judges. Thank you very much to Barton Thompson. I want to first acknowledge my colleagues, our staff and our unions. Together, they've shown what real progress happens when people listen and learn. There's no doubt that breaking down the barriers has created all these opportunities for us. So we'll continue to push on for our change. We'll continue to celebrate our differences. We'll continue making spaces where everyone feels seen and valued. And this award is for our staff. They work tirelessly around the clock in all weather to keep our economy humming. And it's for our unions, MUNS, AMEA, Guild, Tampi. They support the people that we value the most. And recognises the incredible work of Jan Dawson and her board and Roger Gray. They're deserving finalists in the awards later today. The other finalists tonight, they've done incredible work as well, and we wish we had some of the stats that they put up this evening. I want to recognise their achievements also. Nice one. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks very much.
Ka tahi rā koutou. Awesome kōrero, and great to see the three of you on stage together. Congratulations to Ports of Auckland.
Ka pai. Now, it's fair to say that our next award could be described as a career-defining moment. This is the University of Auckland Business School Young Executive of the Year Award, and this celebrates, yes, woo! It celebrates an individual who has been influential. They're growing, they are directing their organisation, and it recognises someone who is prepared to go well beyond the perceived limitations and strive for that personal and organisational excellence.
Now, to present the award this evening, please welcome the Deputy Dean of the Business School at University of Auckland, Andrew Patterson.
Kia ora koutou. Career development, career progression and excellence is at the heart of everything we do at the University of Auckland Business School. So we are again delighted to present the Young Executive of the Year Award for 2024. Let's take a look at our talented crop of finalists for this year.
As General Manager of Vivid Living, Gemma has been the driving force in Fletcher Building's move to disrupt the New Zealand retirement living industry. Leading the Vivid Living startup, Gemma has transformed the business from a concept to a fully fledged operating business, opening its first retirement community with a second under construction. Boldly transitioning from HR to operations to senior leadership, her hands-on problem-solving skills and extensive business acumen have set Vivid Living up to deliver growth for the company. Gemma's unwavering determination and visionary approach have propelled Vivid Living to the forefront of aged care innovation and have cemented her as a bright talent of the future. As General Manager, Heritage and Identity, Glenda stands at the forefront of Waikato Tainui, dedicated to building iwi wealth through strategic investments that support social, cultural, educational and environmental initiatives. Known for her confident approach, Glenda transcends traditional corporate boundaries with adaptability and straightforward communications to tackle complex issues. Her leadership style challenges conventions, defined by determination and collaboration to drive impactful change. Influenced by strong female leadership, Glenda's work with Tainui underscores her dedication to economic and community advancement in Aotearoa. Her knack for inspiring fresh perspectives sets her apart, cementing her as not just a role model, but a vital force in Aotearoa's business landscape. As General Manager Digital and Marketing, Catherine has been instrumental in propelling One Roof to new heights, transforming New Zealand's premier property platform into a powerhouse in the real estate market. Catherine has spearheaded One Roof's growth with data-driven digital and marketing strategies, optimising the One Roof website, channel performance and campaigns across print, digital, radio and TV. Her considered approach and successful strategies have engaged property buyers across the country. Catherine's influence extends well beyond digital and marketing. As a member of the One Roof senior leadership team, Catherine plays a vital role in business decisions and projects and drives the development of One Roof's strategy, firmly establishing her as a future-focused leader with a bright future. Since beginning his journey with Fonterra as a graduate 17 years ago, Richard has leveraged his extensive experience to take on various roles across Fonterra's global value chain. Now, President Global Markets Ingredients, Richard oversees over $10 billion in sales across Fonterra's global ingredients markets. In addition to his role at Fonterra, Richard is the co-founder and chair of Snowball Effect, an equity marketplace that connects investors with high-growth Kiwi companies. Since its launch in 2014, Snowball Effect has successfully raised over $200 million for 130 companies across a network of more than 50,000 investors. Richard is deeply committed to harnessing the power of New Zealand's unique potential for Kiwi businesses, from dairy farms to tech startups and everything in between, to achieve their ambitions on the global stage.
And the winner of this year's University of Auckland Business School Young Executive of the Year is Richard Allen Fonterra.
The judges were highly impressed by the calibre of candidates in the Young Executive category, with a shortlist of 4 talented leaders. Fonterra's Richard Allen stood out, having grown the co-op's EBIT by $140 million in 2 years through his Atlantic strategy as President, Europe and Americas. Now, in a pivotal role, Richard is focused on expanding Fonterra's markets and diversifying income streams. The judges were particularly impressed by Richard's entrepreneurial spirit, founding Snowball Effect, a platform revolutionising investment in New Zealand by supporting startups. Richard is an inspiring role model for young Kiwi executives. Congratulations to Richard Allen, the 2024 Deloitte Top 200 University of Auckland Business School Young Executive of the Year.
Wow. My wife still doesn't believe I qualify for young, so this is a bit of a win. But no, thank you very much. I'm very humbled and honoured. Acknowledge Gemma, Glenda, Catherine as well, phenomenal contributions to New Zealand. Look, I've been extremely lucky and grateful for, I guess, the opportunities I've been given by the co-op, by our farmers over the last 17 years. It's given me and my family experiences that we never thought we'd have. And we've been right around the world, and we're in Chicago at the minute, and we're coming home soon. But, New Zealand agriculture, dairy in particular, is full of just fantastic leaders, and I've had the pleasure of working alongside them and for them for some time. There's a couple in the room tonight, Miles, Bruce, that have really helped me on my journey, and I just want to say thank you. And I think finally, as a Kiwi overseas, one of the best parts of kind of representing a New Zealand company offshore is that without fail, almost every single day, you start to see just how high a regard the rest of the world sees New Zealand, sees our products, sees our services. And I just think it's fantastic that Deloitte, the sponsors, the judges, are committed to recognising and celebrating that success. And I think we can be a little bit tough on ourselves as Kiwis, and we should do a lot more of it. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Have a great night.
Kia ora, Richard. Congratulations to the extremely young Richard. Executive, he did something incredible actually, Jack. I saw him manoeuvre his way through the tables. He actually did something that not many Aucklanders know how to do. He gave way, he stopped, and he let people go before him. So what a man, what a guy.
Now, these awards are the result of countless hours of deliberation by our dedicated judges and judging advisors.
So now seems like a very good time to recognise them by name.
We just want to say a massive, heartfelt thank you to Hinerangi Raumati Te Ua, Jonathan Mason, Neil Pavia-Smith, Gavin Lonergan,
Susan Peterson, Liam Dan, Rob Campbell,
Juliet Tainui Hernandez, Ranjna Patel and Simon Muta.
Katie Beath and Kate Wilson Butler. Tēnā koutou katoa.
Please, homai te paki paki. Give them a massive round of applause.
Definitely a tough gig, that one. So our next presenter is the head of business content for NZME and a high-profile business columnist for the New Zealand Herald, even more famous than Jack, I'd say. She chairs the New Zealand-US Council's Friends Board and is a member of the New Zealand-China Council. She's a regular participant in New Zealand's partnership forums with the United States, Australia and China.
I feel like she knows everyone.
Yes.
Like she knows everyone in New Zealand. And amidst all of that stuff, she also holds a vital role in these awards as the Top 200 Judging Panel Convener. So please welcome Fran O'Sullivan.
Thanks so much, Jack, for that wind-up. Congratulations to all the winners tonight, but also to the finalists. It's a huge achievement being recognised as a leader of our business community and being awarded this way. We've seen an incredible group of companies come through Top 200 this year. The leadership that has been shown in difficult times, and I think we all acknowledge that, is testament to the strength and resilience of the New Zealand business community. And as we've delved deep into companies, we've seen how these clear strategies can in fact deliver results for business. And I think it's fair to say that each of the companies that have been awarded here tonight demonstrate that. And I also like to reflect also on the words of Mike Horne earlier, that courage and ambition is going to take us a lot further. So thank you for that reminder, Mike. Now I'd like to go to a very unique acknowledgement. The Judges Recognition Award honours outstanding contributions to New Zealand, and it's awarded outside the main categories. This year it's going to be presented by Neil Pavia-Smith, who is stepping down as an independent judge for Top 200 after 15 years of exceptional service. Neil, please join me on the stage. Thanks, Neil. I'm now going to take a little bit of time with Neil to reflect on his 15 years as a judge. Neil, I think it's fair to say you've worked with some great people over that time. Please tell us a bit of the history.
Sure. Can I just... Yeah. Am I allowed the mic?
Yep. No.
See what judging's like with Fran. Well, I started in 2010, so there'd been the GFC, and to be in the top 200, the company needed 100 million revenue. And this year, it was 250 million. So we've come a long way, and we often are quite hard on ourselves, as has been noted already. I started judging, there was Roger Kerr and Janine Smith and myself. And over the years, we've had some great people like Dame Alison Patterson, Sandy Mayer, Jonathan Mason, many others. And it's been fantastic working with all of you, and some great insights, great dedication. And then yourself, Fran, who convenes the panel as our sort of head judge very, very well. And as we get into those sticky moments, you sort of give us that look, you know? It's kind of, you say something, and that's sort of a very final way of concluding things. But the judging's been great fun. Another observation I'd make is that the companies that we celebrated back, 10, 15 years ago, Mainfreight, EBOS, Fisher & Paykel Healthcare, Port of Tauranga, they're still our best performing companies. Wonderful to just continue to acknowledge the performance and contribution. Then, of course, there's some at the other end who still perhaps at the other end, but they'll have their time, I'm sure. So it's been a great experience to be involved with.
Thank you. Neil, it's also fair to say that the Visionary Leader Award, which will be later this evening, is pretty special to us, and it gives us the opportunity to recognise a great New Zealander, even if they're not associated with a top 200 company. And this is an award which is quite strenuously debated, I have to say. Neil, what are some of your standouts?
Probably the most memorable moment in 15 years would be the second year I was involved. I got the privilege of ringing Lloyd Morrison to tell him that we were awarding him the Visionary Leader Award. Now, Lloyd at the time was terminally ill with cancer. It was a great moment. It was late November 2011, and he passed away in February, just 2 months later. So that still to the Infratil team here, he'd still be telling you you're not going hard enough. He was a wonderful New Zealander, had amazing aspiration for the country. But other great people, Murray Helberg, Sir Murray, who did amazing things for children in sport with disabilities. And then Bruce Blested. You remember how hard it was to get Bruce to accept the Visionary Leader Award? He just refused. He said, no, it's not about me. I'll only get up there if you acknowledge the team at Mainfreight. You know, these are humble, you know, genuinely visionary and true leaders. And I just say to everybody here, I mean, let's celebrate the fact that these awards have been now been going for 35 years. There's great mana in each individual award. You look at who's won the award before you, if you're lucky enough to win tonight. And, you know, as has been said earlier, we don't celebrate success well enough. So, you know, let's actually acknowledge these are fantastic. It's been terrific to be involved 15 years. Well done, Deloitte, for sticking with it for all that time. To Thomas and Mike, fantastic. All the partners, terrific.
You can see why I personally find it a great honour and privilege to work with people like Neil, and we will miss you. We were just talking at the table about your attributes, and clearly you have what everyone has: independence and integrity, judgment, great financial analysis, but one of our people said you are the backbone of the group too. So cheers to that. Right. It's now my pleasure to ask Neil to introduce this year's Judge Recognition recipient.
Thank you, Fran. So the Judges Award was introduced about 4 years ago, and it was an opportunity for the judges to recognise a company or an individual who has made a great and or sustained contribution to New Zealand's business and economic success. And they've demonstrated clear thought leadership or a demonstrable contribution in the field, and they don't have to come from the top 200 companies. And this year, we're recognising a key contributor to New Zealand's public policy dialogue in both local and central government, across critical policy areas such as education, health, housing, and so on. And these are really pressing issues that challenge New Zealand and its leaders and will really help shape the direction of the company. So let's look at the video of this person's many achievements.
Tonight, the judges wish to recognise the deeply thoughtful and outstanding leadership of Dr. Oliver Hartwich, who has been the Executive Director of the New Zealand Initiative since its inception 12 years ago. A German native who now proudly calls New Zealand home, Oliver has brought to New Zealand a combination of his personable communication style matched by his impressive experience in developing public policy in the UK as Chief Economist at the Policy Exchange in London, advisor in the UK House of Lords, and prior to moving to New Zealand as Research Fellow for the Centre of Independent Studies in Sydney. Oliver heads an impressive team of Research Fellows at the initiative and has grown considerable support from its members who fund the organisation. The think tank produces thought-provoking, independent research and policy recommendations on topics that are freely available to the public. Oliver has been a key contributor to the public dialogue, not simply in identifying the key issues we face as a country, but how the collective we might address them. Through his leadership, the initiative has been recognised for its work across the political divide, and in recent years, its policy prescriptions have been influential in key policy areas, with particular note about education. As we celebrate the best in the business world tonight, the judges wanted to recognise and praise the work of Oliver and the initiative on critical social policy areas, and recognise Oliver's sterling contribution to public policy thinking and his willingness to advocate publicly through significant media engagement.
So, everybody, a big top 200 reception for. Please come up, Oliver, and accept this year's Top 200 Judges Recognition Award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for this special recognition. Thank you to Deloitte for sponsoring these awards, and thank you to the judges for acknowledging the New Zealand Initiative in this wonderful way. When people ask me about our vision at the initiative, I always remember what German Chancellor Helmut Schmidt once said: if you have visions, you should go and see a doctor. Then again, who would take advice from a German? Well, New Zealanders apparently. Now, one has to be very careful with Germans and their visions. But what the initiative does have is a clear mission. and that is to create a better New Zealand for all New Zealanders. And that makes leading the initiative the best job in the world. Well, actually, there are two better jobs I can think of. That's Pope and Governor of the Reserve Bank. That is because they are both infallible, though the Pope is not so sure about that. Still, even without claiming infallibility, I can say that the initiative has turned research into results over the years, and none of it would have been possible without our dedicated team. As we all know, it's he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. I particularly wanted to thank Chelsea Killick, my first hire and the backbone of our organization. Chelsea has made our academic ideas work in practice, bringing her dedication and common sense to everything we do. I want to acknowledge our board under our chair, Roger Partridge. He had the vision to establish the initiative and has chaired it from the beginning. And Roger even had the courage to hire an unknown 36-year-old German from Sydney to run it, a decision which he assures me he doesn't completely regret. Under Roger's chairmanship, our board keeps us on our toes, though they might not always realize just how much. And of course, I want to thank our members who have supported our mission from the start. More than that, over the years, they have become my New Zealand family. What started as names on a membership list has become a circle of people I am proud to call friends, and many of you are here tonight. As one of our directors likes to say, somewhat jokingly, if your company still has a pulse, it should be a member of the New Zealand Initiative. Now, we are here, of course, at the Deloitte Top 200, bringing together New Zealand's leading companies. As of today, about half of you are members, and that is great. For the other half, I would be very happy to check your pulse after the event. The doctor will see you later. But more seriously, I invite you all to join us, because what we do matters. We've spent 12 years driving change for affordable homes, better schools, open markets, and stronger communities. And we need everyone in this room to support us on that mission, to create a better New Zealand for all its people. Because that is what the initiative is all about. That is our mission. And with that, thank you. Ngā mihi nui, tēnā koutou katoa, und Dankeschön.
Congratulations, Oliver. If you haven't done so already, I strongly urge you to listen to Oliver's incredible Money Talks podcast with Liam Dan. It was seriously insightful, and if broadcasting had any future, then I would say Oliver had a future in it.
Yeah. Also, the winner of the Stand Up Award tonight as well. Congratulations, Oliver. Tēnā rawa atu koe. And also thank you to Fran and Neil, a really significant night for you as well. Te tai tuara, the backbone. So thank you both for your work on the Deloitte Top 200. It's really appreciated by everyone here tonight.
Now, at their heart, we all know that award shows are events that are all about recognition.
So now is a good time to bestow some of that recognition onto the amazing family of companies that help make these awards possible.
So, tonight we say a huge kia ora and thank you to Amazon Web Services, Barfoot & Thompson, Business New Zealand, Forsyth Bar,
Hobson Levy, Service Now, Snowflake, Tax Traders, and the University of Auckland Business School.
2 Degrees, and our media sponsor, the New Zealand Herald. Please give them a massive round of applause.
Inai ka huri te titiro ki tētahi kai kōrero whakahirahira. Time to welcome a very special speaker to the stage.
Yeah, I have promised this speaker that I will not interrupt a single sentence of his, which makes a little bit of a change. Please put your hands together and welcome Te Premier, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the Right Honourable Christopher Luxon.
Ka nui te mihi ki a koutou, ka mihi ki te mana whenua ko Ngāti Whātua o Rākei. Kia ora and good evening, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here amongst people that I know well that do incredible work and to be celebrating excellence in leadership and excellence in business across New Zealand's top firms. It's absolutely fantastic. Can I just firstly acknowledge Mike and say thank you to you and all of the Deloitte team for the great work that you've done over many years supporting this event and celebrating excellence. And can I also just acknowledge Ngāti Whātua Rākei, who actually do an incredible job in Tamaki Makaurau, actually building our community and actually advancing our economy as well. So thank you very much. Look, it is a real honour to be here tonight. The talent, the passion and the achievements on display this evening are incredibly inspiring to all of us. And I know that things are tough for many Kiwis out there right now, but I have to say 12 months into this job, and like so many of you in this room, I know that New Zealand is the best country on planet Earth, and it has so much more potential, so much more potential. And I want you to think about it. We sit bang smack in the middle of the Asia-Pacific region. We have strong social and democratic institutions, we have abundant natural resources, and we have phenomenal people, creative, talented, determined, innovative, that can take us forward. So there should be no reasons why together, over the next few years, we can't build out the best small advanced country on earth, period. And my government's responsibility, of course, is to support Kiwis by creating the conditions and also the opportunities to thrive. But that also means celebrating ambition, celebrating aspiration, positivity, can-do and excellence, and positively backing ourselves out there on the global stage. And I often talk about the three actors in our society: government, business and community. And I believe that New Zealand is at its absolute best when actually all three of us, government, business and community, work together in pursuit of a common goal, doing what we each do individually to the very best of our abilities. I also make no apologies for being a former business person myself, because it is actually business that has lifted billions of people out of poverty all around the world and supports our social systems here in New Zealand as well. And the bottom line is that business needs a strong society and society needs a strong business sector as well. The two are inextricably linked, as so many of you in this room so well understand. So as leaders of our top companies, all of you in this room are at the leading edge of your fields. You are innovating and you are exploring new technologies. You're finding fresh answers to very complicated problems. You're opening up new markets and you're driving positive social change. And I can tell you that New Zealand sorely needs your positive disruption that you are bringing to improve our productivity, to improve our competitiveness, and to create the higher income jobs that so many New Zealanders deserve. So in closing, can I say to all of you, thank you for your innovation, thank you for your hard work, and congratulations again to all of those being honoured here this evening. Your leadership is guaranteeing a richer, a more prosperous, a more confident future for our country, and as a consequence, more potential and opportunity for New Zealanders right across New Zealand. And on a personal note, can I say to those that are being honoured tonight, I hope you will allow yourself a small moment just to stop and to reflect on all you have achieved and contributed thus far, to thank those that have helped you along the way, and importantly, to celebrate well before you giddy up and set some new horizons and some new goals to go after as well. Let's have a great evening. Thank you very much, everybody.
Tēnā koe. Thank you very much, E Te Premier. It's great to have the Prime Minister here this evening. We very much appreciate your warm words.
Now, I know you'll be excited to hear this. We're going to take a break now and let you all enjoy the main course. We will have beautiful sounds as well to enjoy, but most importantly, we'll be back very soon. Take your time to network. Hei ākuanei. We'll be back soon.
Okay, hoki mai. Hoki mai e tiwi. Hoki mai. Come on, come and make your way back to your seat. Come and find your seat. Come and park up once again next to your friends and colleagues. We don't want too many stragglers. Come and find your seat. And the Deloitte Top 200 Awards for 2024 are going to kick off once again. Come on, make your way in.
Hoki mai, hoki mai.
This side of the room, definitely the top performers in this extremely complex task. Little group here of stragglers here in the middle.
Best dancers over here is what I'm hearing.
Is that Antonia? Maybe? Come and take a seat, guys. Come and take a seat.
Remember, we live in New Zealand. We potentially know your name, so we can say, could you please sit down, Juliet?
Whai turu. Good job, good job.
Because we're only actually back for a short amount of time, aren't we, Jack?
We're back for an incredibly short period of time. We have just 2 or 3 awards and then we're going to have another wee break. So if you didn't make it to the wharepaku, if you haven't yet charged your glass, don't worry, you're not going to be sitting there for long. So come and make your way back. Okay. Are we down? Are we there? A couple more over here. I think we'll crack on with things.
Yeah, I think we could always just check the reflexes, check that we're in a room of New Zealanders. Let's see if the reflex is working. If I say this, I know what you're going to reply. Tūtira mai ngā iwi.
Oh, where?
They're here. They're present.
Okay. Well, welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed a nice little kai, a bit of a chance to catch up with friends and colleagues during the break.
And there will be more time as well, but how about that great music that you've been listening to tonight? Please put your hands together. Paki Paki Mai, the Joe Captain Quartet. Very stylish.
Like I say, we have a couple of awards to give out in this segment, so we're just going to rip into things. Consumers, investors, boards and employees must now consider the need to work together for the long-term benefit of our society and the environment. So as we look to the future and the many challenges we face, we want to recognise those businesses who are taking a long-term view on how we'll do this.
So the finalists for the Snowflake Sustainability Leadership Award are trailblazers helping to shape a sustainable future for themselves and New Zealand. Snowflake is the name of our sponsors.
To present the Snowflake Sustainability Leadership Award, please give a warm welcome to Snowflake Country Manager of New Zealand, Tony Shaw.
Welcome. It's my absolute pleasure to join this event as a first-time sponsor of the Snowflake Sustainability Leadership Award. We believe that data has the power to change the world, and with Snowflake's data and AI cloud, organisations are empowered to harness data in meaningful ways. Tonight we celebrate the groundbreaking work of our finalists, whose commitment to sustainability is both inspirational and transformative. Let's take a closer look at the remarkable achievements and the impact they are making in making a more sustainable future.
Oceania, a leader in New Zealand's retirement living and aged care sector, is dedicated to building sustainable, community-centred villages that put environmental responsibility and resident wellbeing at the forefront. From considered site selection and sustainable materials to waste reduction goals, sustainability is being woven into all facets of Oceania's operations. Through a sustainability-linked loan, Oceania is prioritising both carbon reduction and enhanced social wellbeing for its residents. Transparent KPIs and sustainability-linked employee incentives are key pillars of Oceania's commitments, supported by workforce education on sustainable practices. Many Oceania residents now hold the Homestar certification from the New Zealand Green Building Council to ensure warmer, healthier living environments for residents and improved workspaces for employees. By fostering environmental stewardship and social connection, Oceania is leading responsibly, supporting its long-term goals and making a positive impact across New Zealand's communities. Precinct Properties is a leader in Aotearoa New Zealand's real estate sector, recognised as an owner, developer and manager of premier urban properties. Driven by a strong commitment to environmental, social and governance, ESG principles, Precinct is dedicated to redefining urban development with a focus on sustainable, community-centric growth that enhances urban living. Environmental stewardship is integral to Precinct's strategy, demonstrated through initiatives that improve energy efficiency, reduce embodied carbon, minimise waste, and promote collaboration with its supply chain, clients and partners towards shared sustainability goals. As a proud signatory of the Science Based Targets Initiative and the World Green Building Council's Net Zero Buildings commitment, Precinct actively aligns its carbon emissions targets with global climate objectives. Additionally, Precinct fosters social responsibility by partnering with iwi, working with diverse suppliers and embedding health and wellbeing standards across its operations. Its robust $3.3 billion portfolio sets a strong example of how cities can grow vibrantly with sustainability, social value and economic growth at their core. Spark's purpose is to help all of New Zealand win big in a digital world. Led by CEO Jolie Hodson, who recently completed a term as convener of the Climate Leaders Coalition, Spark focuses its sustainability strategy on the areas it can make the most impact, supporting economic transformation in Aotearoa, improving digital equity and ensuring Spark is sustainable itself. To achieve this, Spark is investing in the technologies and digital infrastructure that underpin our digital economy and enable businesses to become more productive and sustainable. Through Spark Foundation and its not-for-profit broadband service, Skinny Jump, Spark is helping to bridge the digital divide. And to ensure it decouples its own business growth from emissions growth, Spark is focused on achieving its science-based target, recently signing a long-term renewable energy deal with Genesis Energy.
Congratulations to all the nominations. And the winner of the Snowflake Sustainability Leadership Award is Spark New Zealand.
This year's finalists have set a high bar for sustainability with impactful practices embedded throughout their organisations. Spark stood out with near flawless sustainability credentials, driven by a comprehensive three-pillar strategy integrated across the footprint of the company. With its agile framework, Spark has mobilised squads tasked with sustainability goals as part of business as usual. Spark's influence extends beyond its own initiatives, actively supporting New Zealand's sustainability agenda and promoting access to technology that helps drive sustainable practices. The judges were impressed by Spark's future-focused approach to connectivity, data and online security, and by their collaborative partnerships that amplify impact. Spark's foundation work further highlights their commitment to closing the digital divide. Congratulations to Spark, the 2024 recipient of the Deloitte Top 200 Snowflake Sustainability Leadership Award.
Tēnā koutou katoa. On behalf of Spark, thank you so much for this recognition tonight. Just a few quick thank yous, starting with our board. I can see our chair, Justine Smythe, in the audience, and our leadership squad, in particular our CEO, Jolie Hodson, who's been a really fierce advocate of sustainability, both within Spark and in our business community. Without that support from the top, sustainability always becomes an afterthought, so it's incredibly important. I'd like to call out Tom Newitt and Claire Pont in the audience tonight, who lead this kaupapa at Spark. You should be incredibly proud of this award because it's a reflection of your achievements. And to all our people within Spark who are helping us to bridge the digital divide, including our chair of Spark Foundation over there, to reduce our environmental impact and to ensure that we are a sustainable business. This is a reflection of your mahi, and so with that I thank you. Many thanks.
Kia ora, Leela. Kia ora koutou. Can I get a woohoo? I thought so. Very good coverage by the cell phones powered by Spark over here as well, so congratulations.
The role of Chief Financial Officer is vital to any business, and under the stewardship of a talented CFO, a company is sure to thrive. And that stewardship has never been more essential than during the current volatile economic landscape.
Yes, the Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year Award recognises a CFO whose performance from the previous year has been a standout.
This time, the judges looked for a CFO who not only directed their organisation's financial performance and demonstrated significant contributions to shareholder value, but also demonstrated adaptability and a steady hand during challenging times.
Here to present the award for this year's Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year, please welcome to the stage co-CEO of Tax Traders, Becky Butler.
Nā mana, nā reo, nā karangatanga. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. It is such a pleasure to be here this evening to present the award for the Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year. This year's finalists are all outstanding individuals in their chosen field. So let's take a look.
Since becoming CFO at NZME in 2019, David Mackerell has been instrumental in guiding the company through a transformative period in New Zealand's media landscape. Under his financial leadership, NZME has addressed challenges like declining print revenues, inflationary pressures, and shifting consumer behaviours by accelerating its digital transformation. David's experience from Heartland Bank and Air New Zealand allows him to balance NZME's traditional media with a forward-looking digital strategy. Amid economic uncertainty and intense competition, David oversees NZME's financial and strategic functions with a focus on resilience and profitability. His leadership has sustained NZME's strong audience reach across New Zealand and increased digital revenue to nearly a third of the company's total income, an impressive feat in a rapidly changing media sector. David has led the sector, delivering a 30% total shareholder return for the 12 months ending September 2024, and on an annual basis over the past 5 years of his tenure. David has also brought his considerable intelligence and commercial insights and used it to be a key confidant of the CEO and board and a superb communicator with the market. Appointed CFO of designer and manufacturer of world-leading healthcare solutions Fisher & Paykel Healthcare in 2019, Lyndall has guided the company's global financial operations during a pivotal moment in history and an exciting time of growth. Lyndall's leadership and financial strategy supports the company's innovation in New Zealand's high-tech manufacturing sector and aligns with the company's values of commitment and internationalism. She is a member of Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand and a graduate of the Australian Institute of Company Directors, bringing local and global expertise to ensure Fisher & Paykel Healthcare continues to meet the demands of both the national and international markets. Lyndall has been a key part of the team over the past 5 years that has produced a 64% shareholder return for Fisher Paykel over the 12 months ending September 2024. As leader of the finance team, Lyndall has supported key product investments and managed a complex set of financing and tax issues with manufacturing and processing in Mexico, China and New Zealand, backed by a significant sales effort in the USA. Lyndall is respected by the market, her board, and leads a highly engaged finance team. Since stepping into the role of CFO at Meridian Energy in 2019, Mike has been a driving force behind the company's financial, strategic and risk management initiatives, bringing a wealth of expertise in finance, strategy and New Zealand's energy markets. Mike's journey with Meridian began in 2006 as a strategy analyst, quickly rising through the ranks to become the general manager of wholesale. In this capacity, he adeptly managed critical wholesale market activities, laying a strong foundation for his current leadership role. Under Mike's financial leadership, Meridian has achieved substantial growth and operational efficiency. He has led an impressive capital management program to underpin the company's target of 7 new generation assets by 2030 and played a key role in Meridian's groundbreaking long-term contract and demand response agreement with New Zealand's aluminium smelter, which have provided much-needed certainty and unprecedented flexibility to the country's electricity system. Under Mike's leadership, Meridian has not only achieved substantial operational growth, but has also reinforced its commitment to renewable energy innovation, positioning itself as a leader in sustainable energy solutions.
This year's Tax Trader's Chief Financial Officer of the Year is Mike Horne.
Mike Horne has been recognised by his board and the market as one of New Zealand's leading CFOs over multiple years, and is also respected by his finance team, CEO, and peers for an extraordinary mix of intelligence, operational experience, and humility. In 2024, Mike led the negotiating team that produced a long-term contract with Rio Tinto that has given Meridian and the industry more certainty about the renewables investment needed to decarbonize New Zealand. This combination of multiple years of excellence in finance leadership and the resolution of the Rio Tinto contract make Mike Horne the Deloitte Top 200 Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year.
Ngā mihi, Becky, and thank you. This is it's an incredibly humbling experience to stand up here but it's also an incredible privilege, and it's a testament to an incredible team that I work with and the unwavering support of our board, CEO, my exec peers, and the wider organisation. You know, it feels great to stand up here. I'd like to take a moment to recognise the other finalists for the award, is Lyndall and David, as they are masters of their trade. There's no question. And to my team, you know, I share this achievement with you. You know, together we've navigated many challenges, we've dealt with uncertainty, we've embraced opportunity and challenge, and we've managed resilience in the face of uncertainty. Together, you know, we will help Meridian navigate the challenges of tomorrow. And I would be remiss if I didn't finally thank my wonderful wife, Sarah. I couldn't do what I do without you, and I'm very lucky to have you in my life. So thank you very much to the judges, and have a great night.
Best thanks to a wife speech so far.
Yeah,
ka pai. I heard that you were very intelligent, yeah. So I've got some amazing news, everybody. We're about to take another short break so that you can enjoy some dessert.
Yeah, please enjoy the food, the company, and the sounds of the Joe Captain Quartet. We'll see you soon.
Ka pai.
Good job. and when it...
ora. Nau mai, hoki mai anō.
Okay, come and make your way back in. Come on, come and find your seat. If you're really quick, you might be able to steal the dessert from the person next to you. Come and find your seat, whai turu. Hoki mai, hoki mai.
I know that a lot of you are literally chairs of the board, so take your chairs, cheers. Cheers!
Come and make your way back in.
It's that time of the night, the jackets are off. We're about to get into party time as well, and party time in terms of our last awards.
Yeah. Come and make your way. Last few stragglers coming in. Hoki.
There's actually this amazing system. There's a spotlight that will go on to people who have not yet sat down. No pressure. But this side of the room, just want to say,
Yeah. We see you, we appreciate you.
The winners.
There's a spotlight and there's a guy in the rafters with a paintball gun who's just gonna...
Yeah, and then it becomes a laser.
Yeah. Come on. Come and make your way back in. Come and find your seat. Dessert looks fantastic, so you would hate to miss out on that. That is the only thing you should be doing with your mouth right now.
Oh, wow.
Come on, guys. Very good.
Very good pace, particularly in your heels, ladies. Good respect.
Yeah.
Now, as we zoom into the end of our evening, we have some nice surprises, some magical moments. So get yourselves ready for the last part of these amazing awards, the Deloitte 200 for 2024. No mai, hoki mai, welcome back. So now it's time for a very special award. A special award that actually needs everyone to zoom in, give us your full attention and maybe even say, ooh.
Ooh.
This is the big award. Can I get a ooh?
Ooh.
Can I get a tūtira mai ngā iwi?
Oh.
Okay, oh where? This is a really big, important award. A key detail I need to tell you is that this next award isn't necessarily associated with a top 200 company, or in fact, any company at all. But this is about people who have taken a visionary position, not the German vision that we heard about before, but they've led with purpose and by example.
The recipient may be a fixture in the business world. The recipient may be someone who has applied business methods to other fields, or they may be someone whose work is of critical importance to the business community. Their contribution might have been made in the previous 12 months, or the award may be recognition for a lifetime of achievement.
So you might remember last year's Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award went to Sir Richard Taylor and Tania Roger for their groundbreaking work at Weta Workshop.
Other past recipients read like a bit of a who's who of exemplary business talent.
And we think it's fair to say that this year's recipients, they've already secured themselves a place amongst some truly iconic Kiwi leaders.
So, here to present this year's Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award, please welcome partner at Hobson Levy, Lauren Shearer.
Good evening, everyone. At Hobson Levy, we believe that the right leaders matter, and a clear case in point are this year's recipients of the Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award. Let's take a look.
It takes a great deal of courage to leave New Zealand in your 20s, move to China, and set about building what will ultimately become a billion-dollar-plus business. But 2 decades on from when brothers Matt and Nick Mowbray first moved to Hong Kong to set up a toy factory, later joined by their sister Anna when they moved to mainland China, their initial toys business has expanded into what is now the Zuru Group. This spans 3 core divisions: Zuru Toys, a consumer goods business; Zuru Edge, which produces consumer goods such as pet care, beauty, baby care and health and wellness products; and Zuru Tech, which is focused on automating property construction. It's light years from the Mowbray siblings' early days when, Armed with a $20,000 loan from their parents, they purchased an injection moulding machine and started making toys in a Guangzhou factory. They could not speak the local dialect, subsisted on vegetables and rice, and the occasional macas, even sleeping in the factory while they developed their big sellers like RoboFish, X-Shot, and Bunch of Balloons. They adopted an organic growth strategy that has seen the business financed completely internally. The Mowbrays were bold enough to take on global toy giants, form relationships with key retailers like Walmart, which got their product onto key consumer shelves, and along the way become expert in large-scale Chinese manufacturing. Known for its cutting-edge software and world-leading automation and manufacturing systems, the Xero Group now has over 5,000 team members in over 30 global locations, making it perfectly placed to continue building its reputation as one of the fastest growing and most disruptive companies in the world. Such ambition and success takes courage, innovation, and a lot of hard work, and in the opinion of the judges, best exemplifies the visionary leadership of this award. Congratulations to Matt, Anna and Nick Mowbray for being recognised with the Deloitte Top 200 Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award for 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Hobson Levy and the entire Deloitte Top 200 family, please welcome two of the Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award recipients for 2024, Anna and Nick Mowbray.
Congratulations to the both of you. I wondered if you could turn back the hands of time for us a little bit. Paint us a picture of life as kids in Cambridge. Can you distill where this entrepreneurial spirit came from?
I'll let you start.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had a pretty idyllic childhood and growing up in Cambridge with, you know, a phenomenal family that really built into us a core set of values and morals that were so critical, I think, to our journey into entrepreneurialism. You know, Dad always ensured that we were going to be on the path of being self-employed and doing something completely directed towards our own greater good and building a business that we could be very proud of and something that we could have a high level of pride in. And Mum is one of the most efficient and dynamic women you'll ever meet. So we grew up in a really privileged environment, and that privilege is something that I think we are so lucky for. And we were just always taught that the power of our own mindset and our ability to get ahead was everything, and that there was no such thing as can't. And that has certainly come true in everything that we do today.
Yeah. I've read a story about some pretty hokey sounding hot air balloons involving Coke cans and plastic bags. Whose idea was that?
That was Matt's idea. So Matt won the New Zealand Science Fair when he was 12 years old. And then they were basically flying plastic bags that were on fire, and we used to make these kit sets. Dad worked at Kinley Paper Mill, and the subframe rings were made out of the old paper lines, paper blades, and we'd fold canopies at home, punch cans, wine wire, make these kit sets, sell them door to door, sell them at the Waikato Bloom Festival. So that's kind of the beginnings.
A flying, burning plastic bag, the perfect toy for any 12-year-old in your life, I would have thought.
Exactly, yeah. Try selling those door to door. It's not easy.
I think it was fine door to door, right? It was when I tried to take it global and realised that it did not pass any toy industry testing and quality standards, that we realised it probably didn't have the same scalability we'd hoped for.
We were very naive.
Well, naive's not a bad thing at that age. Was there a moment that you can think of, Anna, like a really pivotal moment in the Xero journey that you think has helped to define Xero's success?
Oh, look, I think success is all about those incremental decisions, right? And that what defines good to great leaders is those that can make the right decisions more often than not. And I think we heavily debated and disputed those right decisions, and we're able to ultimately make more of them right more of the time. And I think that's really important. But with our business, there's these moments in time that you get a huge momentum shift. And it was generally surrounding a product launch that was hugely successful, albeit it being a RoboFish or a bunch of balloons or a mini brands, all product lines that either were at the absolute pinnacle of their sector within the toy industry or actually had gone on to be the most successful product across the entire toy category for an extended period of time. It was those products that built a momentum, and we became incredibly good at making sure that we maximise that momentum, really doubling down on what made that product great, going deeper behind it and really leveraging a team to activate initiatives that could spearhead more momentum in that moment in time. So I think that was really paramount, and you could see it in our growth curve over time, how product dependent we were. And I think outside of that, the other real critical success factor was actually Matt's decision to locate the business in China. And you know, Matt and I actually lived in China for 16 years, full time, building that infrastructure. You know, it was phenomenal. And Nick was just across the border down in Hong Kong and traveling the world at that point in time, selling product to every major retailer. And it really was that foundational build out of China that has been such a critical element to our success. And that infrastructure is what will continue to power up the business to be continually better and exceeding expectations in the sector. And that was industry revolutionary, what we've done there. So,
yeah, it was a brave thing to do, to move across the world in a country where you don't necessarily speak the language, you don't have contacts, anything like that. How was that for you, Nick, as a young man making your way to Hong Kong and trying to break into that market?
Yeah, I was, 18, didn't speak the language, and it was an adventure. And we didn't know what we didn't know, so we didn't really have any other choice. We just fought every day to try and win. And I think if I was to frame up Zuru in those early sort of first 5 to 10 years, I think it's that saying that success is going from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. And I think that really sums us up, because we failed, and then we failed again, and we just kept fighting. And I think we were just super resilient. I always say it's not really what you're capable of, it's what you're willing to do. And I think grit beats talent 10 times out of 10. So I think, you know, lazy people work a little bit and expect to win, whereas winners work as hard as possible and worry that they're being too lazy. Yeah. And I think we just worked really hard. We were really resilient. Yeah.
I think you've got an ethos, right? Fire lots of bullets and fail fast. You mentioned failure there. Is there like a specific failure that you reflect on that was a really pivotal learning opportunity for Zuru?
I just think, I look at all of our first products. We didn't even know what IP was, lawsuits were. We copied our first 2 products. I went to New York Toy Fair. I tried to sell them the first day. 2 people came onto our booth screaming and yelling at us. I went back to China and said, hey, what's this whole IP thing? Like, I look back and I think like how naive we really were. We were at the extreme ends of naive, but we had a mindset around compounding improvement. I always say you either win or you learn. You never fail. So as long as when you have those failures, you take learnings from them and improve the next time. I think that's been kind of the key to us, that compounding improvement, constantly learning, constantly pushing to be better.
Yeah. And launching Zeal and investing in new industries is pretty exciting. How do you see initiatives like Zeal and Recorp NZ helping New Zealand to lead in areas like innovation and sustainability?
Yeah, Zeal's been a really exciting initiative, really looking at how you can take, the trends in social media and apply them across into a job marketplace. So it's really inspired by, the Instagram carousel and then applied across with the swipe behaviour of dating apps in a really user-centric way. But I had 2 main missions when I launched that product. The first was to reduce the cost to hire in New Zealand, because we had this monopolistic behaviour from the biggest player in the industry that was constantly and incrementally increasing price points to post jobs and hire talent. And the second one was to really democratise that journey into employability for every Kiwi. And through both our technology and great partnerships, we've been able to achieve a lot of that, although we're certainly going to be pivoting the platform to be looking at really how we can connect global talent better into New Zealand infrastructure, and that's where I get really excited. But I mean, we've had some amazing partnerships with the likes of Google, which is spearheading all of our AI capability, and all the way down to MSD, where we're now really looking at how we touch all corners of New Zealand with the technology by helping deliver it into clients that are looking for work. So I think there's a lot we can do to bring that global knowledge base that we have, that entrepreneurialism, that innovation back to New Zealand shores and really deploy it in ways that is beneficial for us as a nation. And I think Recorp's the same, you know, aluminium, beverage manufacturing facility. It's one of the largest private investments that we've had into the manufacturing sector in New Zealand in a long time, and that's really lined up to figure out how we can replace the single-use beverage canisters that we have flooding the market, 1.5 billion per year annually in New Zealand right now, with a better, more sustainable alternative. And aluminium is infinitely recyclable, which means it doesn't degrade in quality, and it's cheaper to actually rebuild an aluminium can than it is to build from new materials. And so we're really looking at like filling the hole of the deficit of cans that we have in the market, and then ultimately incrementally improving the ability for brands to move away from single-use plastic, which is really exciting. So again, technology being deployed to ensure that we have world-leading cans. They've got, you know, they're 7% lighter than any other can in the globe, and they're 85% recycled, which again, the industry standard is 40%. So really looking at how we can have soft innovations that really drive change in industries.
It feels like we are, bravo. It feels like we're past the cusp of the AI wave. It feels like we're all really plummeting into the face of the AI wave right now. What do you think New Zealand businesses, Nick, can learn from Zuru's approach to innovation?
I think, you know, I live next to a guy called Jonathan Liu, who is CEO of Alibaba, which is, I think, the 6th largest market cap company in the world. And I once asked him, Jonathan, what was the secret to Alibaba's success? And he always said, fail fast. And I think our philosophy, we always fire lots of little bullets to work out what works. We're always experimenting in order to get insights, and then take those insights and put them back into innovation. If they work, we fire a cannonball behind it. But I think innovation comes down to testing, learning, experimenting over and over and over again, and just having a go at a lot of things. And then you work out what works, and then you get behind it, and you scale it in a big way. So I think it's also partly, you have to have quite big ambition. New Zealand's a great test market. It's a great market to test things in. Generally, in my experience, if it works in New Zealand, you can scale it in most other countries, and it will also work. So I think, yeah, differentiation is essential to success, which is innovation is essential to success. And so we just have this mindset around continuous, relentless innovation in everything we do. Whether that's our operating business model, whether that's our products, whether it's the way we make our products, we're always trying to think, how do we improve and how do we innovate?
Yeah. I'm sure people ask you this all the time. How do you manage working with your siblings?
We would argue so much. It was pretty heated.
So we'd have a contest of ideas.
Yeah. You debate.
And there was a lot of heated agreement as well.
Yeah.
But it maintained its heat.
I think
there was always because there were the three of us, there was always an unheard bidding system, right? So wherever 2 votes sat, you just quietly shrunk away into the sidelines and accepted that the majority won.
I think a company should be run by ideas, not hierarchy, in any situation. A company should always be run by good ideas. So, yeah, you don't always have to be right, you just have to make sure you're excellent and you have the best ideas.
Yeah.
And ideas can come from anywhere. And so I think having a contest of ideas all the time, having that tension, having that constant contest of ideas is really good. I think things start off as a rough rock, and when they tumble around a lot, all the edges get smoothed off, and usually the best ideas float to the top. So I think that tension is actually a really good thing.
Yeah. Finally then, you guys have achieved extraordinary success over the last couple of decades. What is the one thing that we could do in New Zealand to make more Zurus, to foster more of a collective entrepreneurial spirit?
I think it's just actually celebrating success. If there's one thing we need to do, we actually need to turn that into something that is an aspiration rather than a negativity behind it. And I think everyone in this room probably understands that at a really high level. And I think that's the one thing that New Zealand just really lacks. And you go to the US or anywhere like that and you walk into a room and you make a connection, and within 5 minutes of leaving that room, that individual you met has introduced you to 10 others. And there's this real celebration of being part of the journey of someone's growth. And I think that we really need to work on that here in New Zealand, because that will open doors of opportunity that we just haven't seen opened prior to this.
Yeah, I think it starts off, I think it certainly starts off with New Young. I always say you can't become great at rugby unless you have a country that's playing rugby when they're 4 and 5 years old and kicking a ball around the backyard. And it's the same with business, and we were really fortunate that Mum and Dad always said that you have between the ages of when you're young and before you're tied down with commitments to have a go and try and create something. But we were really brought up with like an entrepreneurial mindset to build everything ourselves, to always have a go and work really hard at something. And I think it's more a collective cultural mindset with kids that the only path isn't going to university and getting a job. It's actually when you're not tied down with commitments, you can actually have a go at something. And you never know, right? It might just come off. And it certainly takes like a lot of effort and a lot of resilience, But I think if we have more of that mindset as a country, we'll certainly create more Zurus. And I think, you know, we're a great example. There are lots of other great examples out there that we can do it. It's a big world out there, and we can go out and win in it. And yeah, I think just a change of mindset, really.
And I think just to add to that, you know, to be truly innovative or creative, you need to have that psychological safety that allows you to be that. And to Nick's point, we got that from Mum and Dad, the psychological safety to think different and be different. And I think it's critical in businesses to enable innovation, but it's also critical in our youth or entrepreneurialism to enable that opportunity to take chances and be successful.
Yeah. Well, speaking of winning, I should mention that Nick has interrupted his annual golf trip with the boys to be here this evening, which we are very grateful for. And speaking of winning, we're all hoping that Auckland FC gets the job done this weekend. Please join me in congratulating the Hobson Levy Visionary Leaders for 2024.
Thank you,
Nick, Anna and Matt Mowbray.
Are we going to take this way?
We just talked about celebrating excellence. A little bit more than that. Let's go. The Zuru Gurus. Kia ora korua, and thank you so much for being so generous with what you were sharing, the insights about heated agreement. That's a really good line. Heated agreement, and talking about siblings as well. I mean, that is, anyone else work with their siblings? Anyone else get
with good reason
called? Yeah, I think I get called the CEO of my siblings, but we just don't have a company together, so that's a bit unfortunate. But that's older sister things, so congratulations, amazing winners of our Hobson Levy Award. Now, in today's unpredictable and challenging business climate, identifying and appointing strong leaders is of course critical to those successful business outcomes. So our next award recognises the importance of that meaningful, high-level leadership in shaping the culture and the conduct of businesses in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
The Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year Award recognises an all-rounder who has a strong understanding and a commitment to promoting high standards of corporate governance.
So to present this award, please welcome Director Investment Banking at Forsyth Bar, Megan Glenn.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Good evening, everyone. It's once again my honour to join you to present the Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year Award. This year we have a stellar lineup of finalists who have proven themselves to be a leader amongst equals around the board table. Let's take a look.
George's distinguished career in executive leadership and governance brings together over 30 years of experience spanning fast-moving consumer goods, telecommunications and occupational health and safety. Renowned for his transformative leadership, George has left an indelible mark during his tenure as Managing Director of Coca-Cola Amatil New Zealand and CFO of British Telecom Northern Ireland. His extensive governance portfolio includes chairing Bell Tea and Coffee, the New Zealand Food and Grocery Council, and serving as a director for iconic companies like Hallas Group and Tegel Foods. Currently, George chairs NZX-listed Synlait Milk and Bremworth, as well as the Business Leaders Health and Safety Forum, where he passionately advocates for enhanced workplace safety practices across New Zealand's business sectors. After joining the Synlait board in March and being appointed as chair in May, George has successfully led Synlait through a particularly challenging time, including the successful recapitalisation of the company, creating opportunities for debt reduction and a future focus. George has also worked with Penkaro Private Equity Funds since 2013, chairing 4 of their investment companies, and achieved Deal of the Year with the Bell Tea and Coffee sale to JDE in 2018. Jan is a highly experienced director and chair. Following a career spanning 30 years specialising in auditing, consulting and accounting services in the United Kingdom, Canada and New Zealand, Jan served as an independent director of Meridian Energy, chair of Westpac New Zealand and Deputy Chair of Air New Zealand. She is currently Chair of Port of Auckland, which has been through a considerable turnaround financially and culturally while she has been Chair, and a Director on Serco and the Accident Compensation Commission. Her appointment to Chair of the Board of Westpac New Zealand in 2015 made her the first New Zealand woman to chair the board of a major bank. And in 2016, Jan was made a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit for services to governance. As well as her business prowess, Jan has been heavily involved in academic and sporting organisations, serving on the University of Auckland Council, President and Board Chair of Yachting New Zealand and Vice President of World Sailing. As Chair of the Port of Auckland, Jan has successfully rebuilt trust in one of our most vital infrastructure entities over the past 5 years, strengthening collaboration with unions, creating greater understanding with the port's main stakeholder and guiding improvements in culture. Dame Roseanne Mayo is one of New Zealand's most esteemed business leaders with over 30 years of experience in governance and advocacy for women in leadership. Dame Roseanne Mayo has provided sound corporate governance to Briscoes for more than 20 years, steering the company to consistent profitability in challenging times for the retail sector over the last year, while continuing an enduring relationship with CEO Rod Duke. A trailblazer in governance, Dame Roseanne was the first female president of the Employers Federation and has always sought to balance her governance roles between listed entities and the not-for-profit sector, true to her belief that keeping aware of who we are and the community we live in is paramount. Her career is distinguished by her dedication to fostering robust governance structures and advocating for gender diversity in senior leadership roles. Recognised for her services to business, Dame Roseanne was appointed a Dame Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit in 2012 and had previously been awarded an OBE and the Women's Suffrage Medal. Dame Roseanne's contributions have left an indelible mark on New Zealand's business landscape, exemplifying her commitment to excellence and innovation in governance.
And the Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year award goes to Jan Dawson, Port of Auckland.
Jan's consultative and inclusive leadership has ensured every board member has a voice in shaping the Port of Auckland's direction. Known for her calm, experienced approach, Jan has been pivotal in rebuilding trust and tackling complex challenges, from securing a new CEO to enhancing collaboration with unions and aligning with Auckland City Council. Her consensus-building approach and balanced relationship with the CEO have fostered strong financial performance and renewed pride among the team. Under her guidance, the Port of Auckland is now positioned for a resilient future. Congratulations to Jan Dawson, the 2024 Top 200 Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year.
Well, thank you, and it's about now that I wish I'd actually written a speech out. But I'd like to thank Forsyth Bar for this award, and also to Deloitte for sponsoring the awards for such a long period. They're an amazing recognition of what business leaders and businesses do for our country. I'd also like to thank the directors that I've served with over the past 10, 12, 13 years that I've been an independent director. All of them have taught me a lot about governance, and the journey continues. You never stop learning. Lastly, to my team at Port of Auckland, you're amazing. Everyone has come on the transformation journey for the last 3 years and have done just a fantastic job of making the port the place to work safely, to deliver to our customers, and to basically be the fantastic place it is. So to Roger, the executive, our people and our unions, and importantly our shareholder, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations, Jan. See, she stuck to time. That's what a good chair always does. Ka pai.
Our next award is highly sought after. It's a benchmark that recognises the best performance by a chief executive in the past year. Our judges have taken a detailed look at the performance of the winner's organisation and the extent to which they've influenced the performance and the business current strategy.
The judges also place strong emphasis on the regard in which the winner is held by their peers.
Oh, no pressure. Notable Chief Executives of the Year winners in the past have included Jolie Hodson, Stephen Tindall, last year's winner Grant Webster of Tourism Holdings, and as Mike mentioned earlier, our special guest tonight, the Right Honourable Prime Minister Christopher Luxon.
So to present the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year Award, here is the Country Manager for ServiceNow, Kate Tulp.
Tēnā koutou. Think for a moment about the very best leader that you've ever worked for, how they made you feel, the creativity that they inspired within you, and chances are they were probably asking you to do something that was really tough, to climb a mountain that you weren't sure was going to be possible. In these dynamic times that we find ourselves in, we know that business needs really strong leaders. And the finalists for the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year are indeed some of the strongest and best that we have. Let's take a look.
Miles Hurrell, CEO of Fonterra, has dedicated over 2 decades to shaping New Zealand's leading dairy cooperative and is highly regarded for his strategic expertise and deep understanding of the industry. Appointed CEO in 2018, he brought extensive experience in senior roles across Fonterra's global operations. This included Chief Operating Officer of FarmSource, with responsibility for farmer engagement and milk sourcing, GM Middle East, Africa, Russia and Eastern Europe, and GM of Global Sourcing, where he oversaw the streamlining of Fonterra's European operations. Under Miles's leadership, Fonterra has embarked on a transformative path to increase value for its cooperative members, streamline global operations, and achieve significant sustainability goals, including a target of net zero emissions by 2050. His hands-on approach, combined with a commitment to transparency and operational efficiency, has been instrumental in guiding Fonterra through periods of change, while focusing on delivering strong outcomes for both New Zealand farmers and global consumers. Miles has brought Fonterra back to the basics of picking up, processing and selling New Zealand milk efficiently and effectively, while selling less critical parts of Fonterra's operations and courageously considering the divestment of its consumer business. With a background in finance, Neil joined Meridian in 2008 as CFO, initially taking on roles as General Manager for Markets and Production, overseeing the company's extensive hydro and wind assets, and then as General Manager for Retail. Prior to this, Neil held leadership roles at Telecom New Zealand, now Spark, for more than a decade. Under his leadership, Meridian has amassed and started to deliver on a developmental pipeline equivalent to its current total generation capacity, sharpened its focus on helping customers decarbonise their homes, transport and businesses, and continued its commitment to sustainability. This includes the launch of its Climate Action Plan with a target of halving emissions by 2030, a new nature-positive ambition, and 9 consecutive years inclusion in the Dow Jones Asia Pacific Sustainability Index. Known for his strategic vision and focus on customer engagement, Neil emphasises that Meridian's renewable advantage isn't just about environmental impact, but creating long-term value for both consumers and the economy. Neil has guided Meridian through extraordinary shareholder returns, a milestone contract negotiation, and committed to New Zealand's sustainable future in energy with a $2 billion capital program on renewables investments. Roger Gray became CEO of Port of Auckland in 2022, bringing an impressive 2 decades of leadership in the logistics, aviation and maritime sectors. Prior to the port, Roger was CEO at Littleton Port Company, Group General Manager Airports at Air New Zealand, managing operations at 55 airports around the globe, and Managing Director of Quality Bakers New Zealand while at Goodman Fielder. Known for fostering collaboration across complex, high-stakes environments, Roger has focused on driving cultural, operational and safety transformations at Port of Auckland. This has included championing initiatives like dynamic rostering, the stevedoring code of practice and customer centricity. His commitment to a back-to-basics approach emphasises worker engagement, community integration and a sustainable future for Auckland's essential port facilities. Holding an MBA, a Master's in Integrated Logistics and Executive Education at INSEAD and Kellogg School of Management, Roger continues to be a key figure in reshaping New Zealand's supply chain operations to serve both economic and environmental goals. In a short space of time, Roger has improved labour relations, safety performance, created greater alignment with the port's key stakeholder and increased employee engagement, which has led to a significant improvement in earnings and cash flow.
And the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year is Miles Horrell from Terra.
Fonterra is New Zealand's largest company, generating over $22 billion in sales across 130 countries and contributing around 5% of the nation's GDP. Under CEO Miles Horrell's leadership, Fonterra has achieved record profits, improved milk payouts to farmers, a stronger balance sheet, and higher employee engagement. Miles is focused on Fonterra's core operations of processing and selling New Zealand milk efficiently, while divesting less critical parts of the business. With a collaborative approach, Miles has built an aligned and forward-thinking team, making him a standout chief executive for our most complex company. Congratulations to Miles Horrell, the 2024 Deloitte Top 200 ServiceNow CEO of the Year.
Thank you, Jonathan, for those kind words. Well, I'm truly humbled to be here accepting this award tonight. Thank you to ServiceNow for your contribution and sponsorship of this award. To Neil and Roger, great finalists, and well done to your achievements also. Look, when I was asked to step into the CEO role 6 years ago, probably more accurately told to take on the role as CEO 6 years ago, we needed to do a few things differently, and I couldn't thank the support of my board, led now by Peter McBride, our executive team, and our 20,000 employees around the globe that have all stood up and got right in behind me as Chief Executive. So I'm deeply proud and thank them for that. Like many will know in this room, when you have a role like ours, there are a lot of sacrifices that are made, and I want at this time acknowledge my wife, Michelle. Thank you. 21 years you've stuck with me through what's been an up and down period, but we've done okay. So thank you very much to everybody, and and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Kia ora, Miles. Congratulations. And so now to our final and arguably most prestigious award of the evening.
The Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award. Now, this recognises exceptional organisational performance by a company in the preceding year.
In addition to the latest financial measures, the judges look at the finalists' corporate reputation, approach to environmental management and people management, alongside a range of other factors.
In the 35 years of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards, this award has been bestowed upon some truly exceptional companies.
To present the Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award, it is my pleasure to welcome the Head of Enterprise for AWS, Ben Teague.
As Head of Enterprise for the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform, Amazon Web Services, I'm delighted to be here tonight to present the prestigious Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award. Let's take a look at this year's outstanding finalists.
Fonterra is a cooperative owned and supplied by thousands of farming families across Aotearoa, New Zealand. As one of the world's largest suppliers of dairy, Fonterra provides innovative products to more than 100 markets around the world through its consumer, food service and ingredients brands. Aotearoa's largest company by revenue, the cooperative exists to provide stability and manage risk on farmers' behalf while maximising the returns for farmers from their milk and the capital they have invested. Since its formation in 2001, Fonterra has grown to become a leader in dairy nutrition worldwide, known for its commitment to grass-fed farming. The company's focus on New Zealand milk, sustainability and dairy innovation and science continues in 2024 with a clear strategy for creating the most value and growth via its innovative ingredients and food service businesses. With revenue last year of $24 billion, it represents about 10% of the total revenue of all the top 200 companies, and this highlights the critical importance of Fonterra's strategic direction and operational success. Port of Auckland, Tāmaki Herringa Waka, has developed hand-in-hand with the growth of Auckland, bringing in the goods we've needed to thrive. Employing over 750 people, Port of Auckland is New Zealand's largest import port, the main port for vehicles, plays a vital role in Pacific Island trade, and is New Zealand's main cruise hub. It is a low-carbon and resilient option for the supply chain. Port of Auckland has a vision to be a port that is sustainably profitable, delivering a fair return to Auckland Council whilst remaining the preferred port of its customers and its people. Port of Auckland has achieved very good results over the past year, demonstrating much improved operational and financial performance after years of underperformance. The port increased container throughput across the port by 15%, reaching 1.1 million TEUs, driving revenue growth of 6% and underlying profit after tax growth of 22%. This arose from improved efficiency, enhanced customer service and strategic investment in automation and sustainable infrastructure projects. The judges recognised the strong leadership at the port, which plays a critical role in Auckland and New Zealand economies. Turners Automotive Group is an integrated financial services group primarily operating in the used car automotive sector. Turners was formed through the 2014 merger of New Zealand's largest vehicle and machinery retailer, Turners Auctions, and leading consumer finance and insurance business, Dorchester Finance. Comprised of 4 different divisions, auto retail, finance, insurance and credit management, the Turners formula for success is simple. Great employee experience plus great customer experience equals great shareholder experience. In recent years, Turners has built a very strong brand presence through its award-winning and much-loved Tina from Turners campaign, making the company highly recognisable. However, the company results reflect more than a decade of deliberate strategic work and a transformational approach to both continuous improvement and greater diversification of the business. This diversification, focus on sustainable growth and entry by Turners into the NZX 50 in late 2023 positions Turners as a standout business in the New Zealand automotive sector and a growing favourite amongst investors. In a challenging market environment, Turners Automotive grew sales by 7%, despite industry sales being down 6% year on year. That's a remarkable market share achievement.
And the winner of the Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award is Fonterra.
It hasn't been plain sailing for our country's biggest company over the years. However, as judges, we recognise the big improvement in Fonterra's performance since refining its strategic focus onto core operations. Fonterra has been disciplined on cost management, exited non-core businesses, and generated good returns, even amidst challenging global conditions. Profits have improved markedly. Strong cash flow has driven down debt and supported payment this year of a 50-cent special dividend to its shareholders, helping to drive a 71% increase in the Fonterra shareholder fund unit price. By concentrating resources on areas with the highest potential, Fonterra is well positioned for sustainable earnings growth despite tough international markets. Fonterra's commitment to sustainability initiatives, dairy innovation, and developing future leaders reflects a long-term vision that goes beyond just financial success. Fonterra has strengthened its leadership position in the global dairy industry and has signalled to suppliers a near record payout forecast for the coming season. Congratulations to Fonterra for being named the Deloitte Top 200 Amazon Web Services Company of the Year for 2024.
Well, what great recognition. I referred before to the journey we've been on for 5 or 6 years as a cooperative, and we've been up and down as an organisation, but one thing stayed true through that the whole time is the commitment from our farmers. They, thank you. They sometimes they do it tough. They're out there in the weather at all times. But what they do to contribute to New Zealand as a whole, at times such as now when the economy's not so great, farmers get up every day, and this is great recognition for the work that they do. Again, acknowledgement to a board that supports some bold decisions, courageous decisions that the executive put forward, to the team out there, 20,000 of you. 500 tanker drivers that are driving as we speak, picking up milk somewhere across the country, to you guys, to the factory workers, and to our staff all around the world. Thank you so much. A great company, though, doesn't look at the here and now, and we're 153 years old as an industry, and so the things that we're doing now as a team is about setting us up for the next 153 years, and while I won't be around to accept that award, I look forward to watching down on someone that does, so thank you.
Congratulations to our Company of the Year, Fonterra. And can I just remind you, Michelle and everyone else at that table, hashtag Deloitte Top 200. That's what we're going to use when we're sharing online. E hoa ma, on that moment of celebration of some serious mana, e te iwi ka kapi, ka tātou kaupapa, we bring this awards night to an end.
Before we go, we need to acknowledge the tireless work of the business editorial team at the New Zealand Herald, Tim McCready, Duncan Bridgman and Tamsin Parker.
And of course, yes, let's give them a hand. The incredible team at Deloitte for bringing these awards to life. Kia ora koutou.
On behalf of me and Stace, it's been a huge honour to be your MCs again this year and to share the stage in the room with our brightest and best business talent.
We really hope that you've felt the energy and you join us in saying our 2024 Deloitte Top 200 winners and finalists are truly leading the next wave and are really well placed to embrace the new opportunities in these challenging times. Ki te hoi.
Please also join us in saying a huge thank you to our sponsors once again, 2 Degrees, Amazon Web Services, Barfoot and Thompson, Business New Zealand, Forsyth Bar, Hobson Levy, ServiceNow, Tax Traders, the University of Auckland Business School and Snowflake. Please, hold my whakapaki. Kia ora.
And of course, to the exclusive media sponsor of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards, the New Zealand Herald, really grateful for all of your support. Kia ora koutou. Yes, a big hand.
Massive congrats to all of our finalists, particularly the winners here this evening.
So feel free to keep on celebrating, having a little bit of a drink. I see you with your cups of teas already, but when you leave tonight, please do pick up your copy of Dynamic Business as you leave the venue. That's where you're going to find in-depth content on all of our winners and finalists and discover who you're going to follow on LinkedIn tomorrow.
We look forward to seeing you all back here next year for the 2025 awards.
Yes. Mauri ora kia koutou katoa, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Good
Have
night.
a wonderful, safe summer. Kia ora.
Thank you.